You're live, my friend.
Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. Wednesday, right in the middle of the week, we got big time NBA action. We got college football prep. We got college basketball. Got a locked and loaded slate for everybody. Bryan Power is going to join us to talk this Bulls Pistons game for tonight. And then he's going to do a look ahead on Miami and Ole Miss. He's got a really good look there, which if you watched yesterday's show, you know I'm 100% behind. Drew Martin's going to join us, break down a couple college basketball games, Iowa State, Baylor, and Arizona State, BYU. Ross, the boss, Benjamin, is going to join us, go over the doubleheader on ESPN, Nuggets, Celtics, Lakers, Spurs. We got free plays. Looks like some of you coming in the chat. Looks like we have a lot of Jake LaRavia hate in the chat. So we'll dig deep on that one. Brian, let's bring in Bryan Power and let's get going. Brian, do you have hate for one Jake LaRavia from last night?
No, can't say I've
good to go.
No, he's okay. He's all right with me. That's all right. No, I've enough. I try not to. I've tried. It's a new year, Andy. I'm trying to expunge hate from my heart here.
I think it's because of me. Because I've brought up Jake LaRavia and I've been playing some of his props and he was terrible last night. So I think it may be partly my fault. I did not bet on Jake LaRavia. He was not an official play of mine, but yeah, sorry about that one. So we got a lot of people swearing off of plays. But Brian, how are you this week, my friend?
Doing well, actually. Just as we went live, there's nothing better than just seeing a line move and frantically trying to get the best, trying to lock it in for the clients there. That's what I was doing. So that's what I'm doing. A little frazzled. Let's focus here, everybody. It was a great start. It was a great finish, first of all, to 2025. I guess since I've last been on, it was a great start to 2026. We cashed the 5% max bet on Indiana. We don't do a lot of 5%, so it's always great when not only they win, but they win that easily. Sunday and Monday, though, did not go well, Andy, so I'm dusting myself off a little bit, trying to bounce back. Really looking forward to the college football playoff semifinals, one of which I'll be breaking down with you right now, I do believe.
Well, let's do it. Let's start with NBA, though. Let's get to this Bulls and Pistons team. Yeah, let's do NBA. I want to talk about this Pistons team that this Knicks team's kind of falling apart. The Pistons, are they separating themselves here in the East? Meanwhile, the Bulls, they start off the season. It was like, oh, Cinderella story. This team's interesting, and they have just absolutely cratered. So we're seeing this reflect in the line. Pistons double-digit favorite here at -10.5. Over under 231.5. How do you break down this Bulls Pistons game?
Yeah, no, I remember my roommate in college. He's from Chicago, big Bulls fan. I said, "Is there any more franchise right now that it's more pointless to be a fan of than the Chicago Bulls in the sense that it will never be that good as it once was in the 1990s?" And he looked at me and said, "I never thought of it that way, and I don't really care." And he's like, he was like, "Dick," But there you go. The Bulls, it's just, they're not. They're where they always are, Andy. Perpetual state of mediocrity, just kind of fighting to get in the play-in tournament so they can not make the final 8. The Detroit Pistons, though, as you alluded to, they've kind of been the surprise package of the Eastern Conference, if you will, this season. Obviously, they've been in front most of the way. It was a very impressive win they had over the Knicks the other night. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but I think this is a hideous spot for the Bulls, front end of a back-to-back. They lose Monday night in Boston, 115-101. Bulls were getting 10.5 from the odds makers in that last game. Not enough. They failed to cover in large part because they scored just 33 points in the first half, Andy. I think anyone who follows the NBA knows 33 points and a half, not going to cut it in the modern NBA. And then there is reason to believe tonight, guys, that the Bulls are going to struggle to score points again. Why do I say that? Well, they're facing a Pistons team. What's the key to the Pistons' success the first half of the season? They're number 2 in the league in field goal percentage allowed. Pistons just held the Knicks to a season-low 90 points Monday night. That was a season low for the Knicks. Not to mention forced 20 turnovers, got 36 points off those, did Detroit in that huge 31-point win. And what really impressed me, Andy, about Detroit beating down the Knicks, they're missing a number of key contributors, but we've seen all year there's not a team in the league, dare I say, that is getting more contribution from a variety of players than this Pistons team. Cade Cunningham obviously led the way the other night with 29. That's no surprise, but he had 3 bench players finishing in double figures as well. My thought here is if the Pistons were able to score 121 on the Knicks, They should be able to score even more here against the Bulls, who are bottom 10 in the league defensively, and they give up an average of 125.6 points per game on the road. Bookmark this, guys. That's the most in the league. No team gives up more points on the road than the Detroit Pistons. Therefore, my lean here for this Central Division matchup would be Detroit Pistons over their team total of 121.5. Might drop, so shop around. Monitor, of course, always bet the best available number.
Like the way you're attacking that with the team total. When you have an over like that, you need both teams to contribute to get over that 231, and this Bulls team is just, what are you going to get?
My thought is if the Pistons do cover the spread, which would not shock me, they're getting over their team total.
Agreed completely. I want to get to this college football game, but we have a ton of things. I mean, we got college basketball, we got college football, NBA. What do you have up at Wager Talk for everyone?
We're going to have a little bit of everything actually here on Wednesday. I mentioned it's time to it's a bounce back Wednesday here in my world. It's going to start in the afternoon with the EPL, English Premier League, 4% game of the week for yours truly. Currently up. A lot of you probably grabbed it. It was my part. It was available as part of the $5 Tuesday promotion that we run every week. But if you didn't get it, if you missed that play, shame on you, first of all, but you can still get it today if you're watching live. You got a couple hours left. And I've got an NBA play and a college basketball play available. So 3 plays for Wednesday, Andy. We're still on a nice NBA run, 21-8, by the way. We were just talking NBA a moment ago, so that's always worth mentioning. And soccer has been great, up over 30 units the last 2 years. That's all soccer plays. We're 70% in the Premier League with plays rated 4% or higher in the last 10 months.
I love it. Let's talk this. I'm excited about this play. So Jesse and I went head to head yesterday. I get Ole Miss and he gets Miami. So you're breaking down this team. Yeah. So are you with me or are you with Jesse here? Miami's -3.5 over under 52. What's your breakdown on this game?
Well, first I would be remiss not to toot my own horn here, but I guess with the benefit of hindsight, I thought it was a pretty good breakdown by me last week on the program, Andy, of Miami, Florida versus Ohio State. I said it would be an under game. The first half under was the preferable way to bet it, and that was all true. I also shouted out Keontae Scott on my breakdown, if you guys caught that. Lo and behold, guess what he did? Key play of the game, pick 6 in the first half. Now, it is a much different matchup for Miami this week, Andy, as I'm sure you're aware of, against this Ole Miss team. Why? Well, Ole Miss, led by quarterback Trinidad Chambliss, probably the best offensive team that the Canes will have faced all season. And what a performance it was out of Chambliss and this Rebels offense in the Sugar Bowl win over Georgia. I did not have a bet on that game. Enjoyed watching it, I think, like everybody else. Granted, it's not the same Georgia defense as we've seen in years past under Kirby Smart, but still, Ole Miss putting up 39 points, 473 total yards, nothing to sneeze at there. Make no mistake about it. Ole Miss was the deserved winner of that game. Meanwhile, I know there's a lot of love right now for Miami in the market. I understand it. I've certainly upgraded them after the upset wins over Texas A&M and Ohio State. But guys, the Canes were actually outgained in both those contests, forcing 5 turnovers in the 2 games, including that aforementioned pick 6, I think was the key there. Offense for Miami has averaged less than 300 yards per game. Yes, obviously, when you have a game-changing play like a pick 6, means your offense isn't going to be on the field. It does affect total yardage. But quarterback Carson Beck, he's only thrown for 241 yards total in the 2 games. I think it's going to take a lot more than that, needless to say, if Miami wants to advance to the national championship game. And I bring that up because Ole Miss, Andy, has scored at least 24 points every game this season. As a matter of fact, they've scored at least 30 in all but 2. Now, last week, we talked about how great this Miami defense is, specifically the pass rush. The Ole Miss offensive line going to play a key role, maybe the key role, in determining the outcome of this game. But as we saw late in that Georgia game, guys, Chambliss can certainly make plays outside the pocket. Considering that, and the fact Ole Miss has scored at least 24 in every game this season, I think it makes a lot of sense to bet Ole Miss over its team total of 23.5. That number currently available at some of the more popular shops. And just a few other quick notes on that, Andy. I know some of our viewers right now probably shouting, what about the Ole Miss coaching situation? It's a concern for sure. But I think the offense is going to be fine. Again, a great Miami defense the Rebels are facing here. We understand that. But Ole Miss faces some pretty good defenses in the SEC as well on a routine basis. And final thing, kicking game, always key. Carniero, he made 3 field goals from 47 plus yards against Georgia. So maybe to help us get up and over 23.5, the field goal game could be helpful for us. But it's Ole Miss over 23.5 for me.
All right. I say I get Ole Miss in the points, but give me that team total. I think we're looking pretty good on covering that spread.
I think it's correlated. Ole Miss and over and Miami and under. If you like Miami's going to, if Miami wins and covers, it's going to be a defensive struggle. If Ole Miss gets the job done, then they're going to probably put up some points. So that's kind of what led me there. I'm right on market. The market. So we should, I know a lot of our viewers, very smart people, and they probably understand this, but just to reiterate, the market's so efficient when you get down to these last couple games of the season, you're not going to find, sometimes there's just matchup edges and you can lean on that, but I'm right on market with these two spreads for the semifinals, Thursday and Friday. By the way, I will be breaking them down in full this game and Oregon, Indiana, along with my good friends Ross, the boss, Benjamin Ross, I believe, is coming up later in the show here today, and Ralph Michaels on the Blitz. Catch us live right after Andy Lang on WagerTalk Today. You can catch us live tomorrow, Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Maybe I'm wrong. I've heard this narrative about, the coaches, they're like coming in and out. There's a lot of uncertainty. It's like, if there's one team that is prepared and has been dealing with uncertainty with coaching, isn't it Ole Miss? Aren't these isn't this just kind of like, that's kind of what they've been dealing with the last couple months?
The fact that they were still good again, it was a good operation against Georgia. They had some clock management issues, and I actually, shame on me, I had forgotten Joe Judge was responsible for that. I probably not the guy you want to actually retain on the coaching staff, but that's a different matter for a different day. The fact they beat Georgia, Andy tells me that the players are still locked in. If they would have just come out and laid an egg in that game, it was like, all right, they circled the wagons the one time against an overmatched Tulane team. But no, who knows? If you're Lane Kiffin, you're sitting at home, you're collecting a lot of money as this team wins. But they're basically saying, hey, we didn't need you, pal. So there you go.
Weiss Jr. is the only coach they need. Yeah, maybe it is.
He's calling good games.
Absolutely. So, Brian, you got the Blitz tomorrow. You've got your plays up. Good luck. And bounce back Wednesday. It's going to be a big rest of the week. I can feel it. So thank you very much, Brian. Really appreciate it, brother.
There's one more thing I did want to bring up. It is back. The Morning Wager has returned on the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel. Sino and myself, we swept our free plays yesterday. So if you caught that, so go over to the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel and check Mark and I out. A lot of fun, as always. Great to have that show back as well.
I mean, all is right in the world now.
Yes.
Yes.
Something like that. Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Well, good. I can't wait to check that out. Thank you very much, Brian. Have a great Wednesday. Bryan Power, everyone. All of his plays are over at WagerTalk. We'll get to a couple things here before we'll start with Ross here. I can do a little Steam report. There is not a whole lot of movement in these college football games. The 3.5 is prevailing in Miami and it's not moving. The 3.5 is staying on Indiana. It's not moving in any really direction. So there's not a whole lot of steam there. And it's kind of the same story in NFL. You go to the Houston, Pittsburgh, it's -3 everywhere. New England, -3.5 everywhere. Hasn't moved. The only one that's kind of moved is Philadelphia. That was an open at -3.5. That has bumped up to -4.5. But again, it's the same price across all the books. Green Bay and Chicago. Green Bay is creeping up to 1.5 at some books. So I guess if you want to take Green Bay, probably grab them now. And the Rams still holding steady at that -10.5. It has not dropped down to -10. So not a whole lot of steam in the football games. We can go to college basketball and take a look at some of them. There's some money coming in on Furman. I see that line moving. Maryland has taken a little bit of money at home against Indiana. Kentucky, they opened at -10.5. Money's coming in. There's already 13s popping up. So if you want to get down on Kentucky, recommend getting down on there now. St. Bonaventure, they're taking money as well. 5.5s are gone. 6s are still out there, but 6.5s are popping up. And James Madison opened up as a pick'em. That's already up to -2.5, and -3s are popping up. So those are some steam reports. We don't really do NBA because you can't really tell what the line moves are this early in the day. But if we go to hockey, Dallas is taking money. And that is about it. A little bit of money coming on San Jose, but that's going to do it for the Steam report. So let's see. I see we got a lot of people mad at Jake LaRavia, and here's the thing. When you have a guy that like Jake LaRavia, like Anthony Black, like some of these guys that were terrible last night, I think you come right back to him. And I know some people in the chat have said, I'm never betting Jake LaRavia again. 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Jake LaRavia. I'm guessing he goes over tonight. I would bet he goes over tonight. We'll see how that works out. So promo code that is up. It is Andy100. It gets $100 off a 30-day pass. This is why long-term packages are so important, because you get every single sport. You get all of our NHL plays, NBA plays, you get our cricket plays, you get our NFL plays, and within that 30 days, don't forget UFC starts up again, and we already have a 5% best bet that is in there. So you lock this in, you go to my page at wt.buzz/AL, and you get 30 days, and it knocks $100 off. We're celebrating my new show, The Prop Line, which will be coming out just after this show. So really excited about that. Use the promo code, gets $100 off 30 days, lock in every single play, every single percentage. And we got to talk to Ross the Boss. Ross the Boss, my man. See him smiling, looking good. Ross, happy Wednesday. How are you?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, man. I like my Hoosiers are playing this week. My Pacers are tanking. They're doing an impeccable job of tanking. My Pacers are doing it the right way. Like they're covering spreads, but they're losing outright. So they're setting themselves
Andy, I don't know if you could see the shirt.
Sabres?
I've been a diehard Sabres fans for years, so I'm very familiar with the tanking process. It's a very frustrating thing for an avid fan of that team to go through. So I sympathize with you, buddy.
It's just a weird situation that we got going on in India, but no one wants to hear about the worst team in the NBA. You got a doubleheader here, Nuggets, Celtics, and Lakers, Spurs. But I got to ask you, what's the mindset? Buffalo Bills fan, what's your feeling going into this week?
Oh boy, I tell you, Buffalo's a team that could beat anybody in the NFL, including everybody in this field, and they could also lose road games to teams like Atlanta and Miami. So they're capable of beating anybody. I think this is the worst possible matchup for me that I wanted to see. Against Jacksonville. I would have rather see them get the number 5 seed, which Houston got, and face Pittsburgh, who they already beat handily earlier in the year on the road. But against a Jacksonville team that is red hot right now, explosive offensively, very underrated defensively, the game scares the hell out of me, Andy.
I almost wonder if these are the two best teams possibly. Maybe the two scariest now. You got Josh Allen, who's the scariest quarterback. Their defense isn't that great, but Jacksonville, who's playing better than Jacksonville right now?
Well, I mean, you can make a solid case the winner of this game could very easily end up in a Super Bowl. You're absolutely correct. I mean, and then you're looking at a red hot Jacksonville team, and they're an underdog at home. So again, if you go by my think like an odds maker theory, Buffalo certainly would seem like the play here, but it's a game that I'm going to be talking about on Friday on WagerTalk TV as one of my solo videos. So stay tuned for that, folks.
All right. Well, let's move to NBA here. We got a good doubleheader. I mean, well, on paper, this looked like an insanely good doubleheader, and now the Denver Nuggets are playing a G League version. It does look like Aaron Gordon's probably going to play tonight, albeit limited minutes. Christian Braun, still questionable, but we do know they don't have their centers. And this is reflected in the line. The Celtics team -9.5 over under 232.5. Boston Celtics, arguably one of the best stories and one of the craziest stories in the NBA. But specifically tonight, how are you breaking down this game?
I mean, you mentioned it. I mean, Denver, on point. Denver is either 6 or 7 top scorers are either out or questionable for today's game, including the Joker, which is the big loss, right? In their backup center, as Andy alluded to. While the Celtics will only be playing their second game in 5 days, Denver, this will be their final finale, I should say, of a 7-game and 12-day road trip. So advantage rest goes to the Celtics here. Denver, their last 7 games, are allowing 125.6 points per game. Opponents shooting 48% from the field. And that's not good news because the Celtics, it's not good news for Denver, I should say, as the Celtics over their last 6 averaging 126 points per contest and shooting over 49% from the field and just shy of 40% from beyond the 3-point line. So if you look at the offensive and defensive comparisons, heavily favors the Celtics in this situation. In Boston, 4-0 straight up in ATS in their last 4 games, winning by an average of 17.3 points per contest. And during this current 4-game win streak, they're a plus 9.3 rebound per game differential. So they're killing it on the glass in this 4-game win streak. And again, it goes back to Denver missing their 2 top centers in this game. So they're vulnerable on the boards, and I think Boston will certainly take advantage of that. And the Celtics, lastly, 6-1 straight up in ATS this year at home when facing a team with a winning record like Denver, and that includes 3-0 straight up in ATS if they were a favorite of 4 or more in those games, and they outscored those 3 opponents by 14.3 points per game. Celtics minus 9.5 over the Nuggets for me, Andy.
Yeah, it's hard to put faith in this this Denver Nuggets team, but doesn't this Denver Nuggets team feel like, oh, everyone's writing them off because they're injured and hurt, and then all of a sudden, with a month ago, it's like, everyone's healthy, and they look like they're hitting their stride, and they go into the Western Conference. I don't know. This could be a sleeper team.
To me, this team is built for the playoffs, right? And I mean, if they get into the top 6 seeds where they don't have to play a wild card game or whatever they call it these days in the NBA, they're going to be okay. I think that they're going to be a tough out for anybody. And again, health is paramount. And I think what you'll see with Denver this year is when players are questionable and they're not going to take risk with them, they're going to sit them. So I'm not saying everybody that's questionable tonight is going to play. But I am saying that, you got to look at Denver from a different perspective than you do a lot of other teams, most teams in the NBA.
Let's move on to the Lakers and the Spurs. I believe both teams on a back-to-back here. Checking the injury report, and I don't believe LeBron has played the second leg of a back-to-back. So, if he plays tonight coming off that 30-point performance, I would be a little bit surprised here. Spurs -8. But Wemby, same thing. Wemby played last night, so check the injury report. But right now, Spurs -8 over under 236.5. How are you reading this game?
Yeah, I would say that, based on the point spread, that it's a good chance Wemby is going to play and LeBron isn't, just based on the point spread alone. Having said that, my concentration is going to be on the total, which right now I'm seeing 236.5. San Antonio Spurs have played 5 straight unders when the total is 235 or greater. In those games, averages a combined 225.4 points scored per game. The Spurs are also 3-0 to the under this year as a home favorite of 4 or greater whenever the total is 235 or more. And those 3 games, 227.6 combined per game. The Lakers 5-0 to the under on the road this year when the total is 229.5 or greater, and they're facing a team with a winning record like San Antonio. And those games went under by 11.7 points per game and only averaged 221.8 points per contest. So this directly pointing to a low-scoring affair. And I'm going to share a betting angle. And again, folks, I get a lot of heat sometimes, and critics jump out of the woodwork in the comments section when I give out a betting angle. I want to remind everybody, because a lot of you guys still don't know the difference between a betting trend and a betting angle. A betting trend has to do with a specific team in a specific situation, and a betting angle has to do with all teams in specific situation or situations. This is what that's going to be. all teams in a specific situation or situations. And the last time these teams met on December 10th, San Antonio won that game 132 to 119. All NBA games involving with a total of 230 or greater, like this one is tonight, and it involves both teams having a win percentage of 600 to 750 between those parameters, which both teams do. And the road team is playing with same season revenge stemming from a loss by 10 or more, which the Lakers are. Those games have played 25-4 to the under since 96-97. And that's 86.2%, folks. And the average total in those 29 games, 235.2. Tonight's total, 236.5. In those 29 games, averaged just a combined 223.6 points per game. So again, folks, if you want to write this down, all NBA games with a total of 230 or more that involve both teams having a win percentage of between 600 to 750, and the road team, like the Lakers, is playing with same season revenge stemming from a loss by 10 points or more, 25-4 to the under since the beginning of the 96-97 season. Combine that with what I said prior to the betting angle, and I like the Lakers and Spurs under 236.5.
Great breakdown, Ross. I like the under. I'd have to agree with you on that one. Some tired legs there. And
I feel a hell of a lot better now.
Wait, what do you mean you get heat in this business? What are you talking about?
Man,
what are you talking about?
It's one thing when they disagree with your picks. I'm good with that because it's sports betting. Look, if you take there's a reason why we've been doing it professionally for, or in my case, over 2 decades, and you're viewing my video. Okay. So, but sometimes I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is somebody who miscomprehends the information that I'm trying to communicate with them, and then criticizes me for that without more clarity, which they need. I'd rather them ask a question than criticize without knowing. But it's in a perfect world, and we know when it comes to sports betting, Andy, it's never a perfect world.
Never a perfect world. Nope. You know what is perfect? You, Ross, and your picks. That's a perfect world. Tell everyone what you have up in Ross's perfect world up on the website.
Well, Andy, I haven't said this in a long time, but I'm glad that you asked. Look, college basketball is rolling right now, folks. 7-1 with my last 8 in college basketball. College football postseason. Again, we have 2 semifinal games left in the college football playoffs and the finals. I got a picks up right now on both semifinal games. My college football postseason picks this year are 13-4, 76%. That includes 5-1 in the college football playoffs. And that's nothing new, because since 2022, college football postseason picks 53-25, 68%, and up over 92 units in net profit, all verified by WagerTalk.com. And if you don't believe the records at WagerTalk.com, then turn the video off because you shouldn't be watching. NFL 25-16 with my last 41, good for 61%. NBA 47-33 with my last 80, 59%. And then all sports, Andy, which takes me to my promo that I want to touch upon because it's the best bang for your buck. All sports since May 13th for me, up over 172 units in net profit. I've proven I can make money for you over the long haul. Not only money, but good money. And that latest net units profit is close to 8 months it's going on right now. So this $14.99 for my 365-day all-access pass. That's $500 off the normal price and includes any 5% best bets. I put out all premium picks in all sports for $14.99. It amounts to an average of $125 a month, $4.10 per day. On top of that, 25% bonus coupon you'll be awarded when you buy that from me and buy it from anybody, as a matter of fact, at the site. and that 25% bonus coupon throughout the entirety of the 365 days. You can make any purchase unlimited with any other handicapper. So I don't know. It doesn't get better than that, Andy.
I mean, we're just giving away money at this point.
Yeah.
And I just correct. I believe what Ross said. Hit the like button before you leave the video.
Yeah. And
we need that like.
Yeah. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know, you guys are always looking for something free. Most of you, anyway. Hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free, and you'll be privy, Andy, to some of the best sports betting experts in all the world, and in my opinion, collectively, the best sports betting expert team in all the world with our 35 great handicappers at WagerTalk.com.
Ross, you always get me fired up. I appreciate you, man. Good luck to your Buffalo Bills. Great segment, great breakdowns. Jay Main told you what was a great deep dive on that under. So thank you very much, Ross. Let's bring in Dan. Dan was recording Bet on it. But
I made it, Andy. I made it.
Nice.
It was touch and go there for a while, man. So Bet on it is recorded, folks. It will be coming your way. Wager Talk insiders will have early access to it, and then it'll be hitting the channel here later this evening. Those insiders, Andy. Big exciting stuff, man. Over 700 people have joined us as Wager Talk insiders. And if you never heard of it, essentially what it is, Andy, you get early access to any video that goes on the channel. You get it hours before while it's like doing the back end processing in YouTube. You get it the second that it gets uploaded here to the channel. So you get in front of a lot of line moves, and you get things like access to the Steam Room. Yanni's Steam Room this weekend is all access long-term clients. That's a hell of a lot more than the $2.99 you pay to become a Wager Talk insider. You can get Steam Room access this weekend, but appreciate the 700 of you that have joined. And those of you who don't pony up, that's completely fine too. Just hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, like Ross said. But Andy, good to see you, buddy. I wasn't sure if I was going to get to see you, and I get to chat with Drew Martin. So our timing was precipitous, Andy.
It was great. Great use of the word precipitous. Yes, thank you to the 700 Wager Talk insiders. I'm glad to have you. Full disclosure, we always want to tell you when we win. We want to tell you when we lost. I lost my $5 Tuesday play, Dan, and it was but apparently everyone had a bad night on player props because we first started the show, people were complaining about a bunch of different guys. But so my play was at the 11 o'clock game, which is so ridiculous that we have 11 o'clock start times on NBA games. So I had Max Christie over 12.5 points. He had 10 points in the first half. I'm counting the money, and I just go to bed because I'm like, this is over. I wake up. He finished with 11. He missed every shot in the second half and hit one free throw. That was his second half. So that play went down the drain. But we did a good job yesterday on that soccer play. Not only did the overhit, we called the penalty shot.
The way that overhit, and it was funny because part of the handicap. So if you didn't watch yesterday, I do this segment called WTF or LFG. I give a play and we either follow or fade it, and that's the WTF, the LFG. Yesterday's play, we look towards the EPL, and later in the show, I might even have an EPL play for you today. But the play was West Ham's game going over 2.5. And why did we like it, Andy? I said, because both these teams suck. Both of these teams view this as a chance that, oh my God, we could actually score. And boy, was that cap true, because there was an own goal in the 13th minute for getting our first goal on the board.
We missed
for
the
West
own
Ham.
Goal. How did we not predict an own goal?
Yeah, so we have an own goal. That was the first goal of the game, and that's when I was kind of like, ooh, this could be something spicy. It was getting a little bit dicey, but then we have a penalty kick in the 89th minute that Andy said this game will go over by some BS penalty kick. 89th minute penalty kick over, and the both teams to score cashes. So we got the minus 110 on the over 2.5, but the both teams to score. I stole all your luck, Andy. All of the luck that didn't go towards your second half came my way in the second half.
So funny. When I saw that penalty kick, I was like, I can't believe we called the penalty kick. So it was really, really good stuff. We're going to get to Drew Martin, and then Dan and I will talk some free plays with all around the world, and we'll tell everyone what to do. And actually, Seth, stick around. There's actually something I do want to address here, Dan, and it's kind of a bigger It's kind of a bigger topic. Happy Wednesday. Seth hit the king of the court last night on DraftKings. What's your opinion on how to use my 27 $50 bonus bets to make money? This is a little bit broader topic, so we're going to save it for after Drew because I want to get to some college basketball. It's actually you could talk for hours about this one, but I just want to talk about it for a little bit because it's something that I have been doing with my own money, but I can't do it with clients, but we can talk about it on the show. Let's bring in Drew Martin and we'll talk about how's that for a tease.
Drew.
Drew, you always look sharp, crisp and clean as always today. Looking great. How are you, man, on this Wednesday?
I'm doing pretty good, Andy. You know, I had the beard going with the holidays and a little bit colder weather, but decided to start off the new year and a little bit clean shaven for you. Both of you guys look good, though. You know,
we're holding down the beard action for you. Yeah, the gray beard. You're not quite there yet with the gray beard, Drew. You get away with it. So it's impressive. It's impressive, man.
Well, I appreciate that, Dan. But I'll tell you this, guys. I mean, what Seth, I believe, with that comment, he has 27 different $50 free bets. I've never had that many. That's pretty awesome if he does.
I haven't had that many, but there are times when like you'll just randomly they'll be like you win a contest, you get a bunch of those, but then sometimes they'll be like, you have 10 free bets. I was like, what happened? Why do I have 10 free $5 bets? It doesn't make any sense. So let's get to college basketball here, Drew. We got a couple games here, and we're going to start with Iowa State and Baylor here. We got Iowa State as the favorite here. I believe they're looking about -4.5. What's your take on Iowa State, Baylor? Tell us a little bit about these teams. For someone like me, I don't handicap college basketball, not enough hours in the day. So give me the rundown on these two teams and how do you see this game going?
Sure, Andy. I mean, Iowa State 14-0 out the gate this season. They're going to have to go on the road here to Waco, Texas, Foster Pavilion. But I'll tell you this, if you like kind of 10-0 runs, Iowa State is 10-0 against the spread, the last 10 against Baylor. That's something I pay attention to. Olsberger, their head coach, you might remember him at UNLV there in Las Vegas. He's doing a great job in Ames, Iowa. This is a one-way team for me right now. It's one of the top teams in college basketball. Talking about Iowa State, the Cyclones, they beat Baylor last year by almost 20 points. They're top 7 in both offense and defensive efficiency. In college basketball, I love betting on teams that are like top 20 on both sides of the court. And on top of that, they're the #1 defensive turnover percentage team in the country, meaning they turn their opponents over. I love that stat in college basketball. I think they're going to take advantage of Baylor here. Now, Baylor under Scott Drew, kind of a all gas, no breaks type of team. They've scored 97 plus points in 4 of their last 5 games. So they should be able to score some points. I don't trust them here because they're taking a big step up in class against Iowa State. And I think the Cyclones, I think this number is just short. You know, we've seen the market move it from 5.5 last night to now 4.5. I think that's I think we put that point in our pocket, so to speak. I think Iowa State goes into Waco and they win by, let's call it 6 or 7 points, something of that nature. So give me the Cyclones over the Bears, 8 o'clock on Peacock tonight, Andy.
All right, taking Iowa State here, and we're going to go to Arizona State and BYU. Again, little rundown about these teams and how we're going to break down this one. We got BYU as a pretty big favorite here. 16.5 right now, over under 165.5.
Yeah, a little Big 12 conference two-step for you. Hour later, 9 o'clock Eastern, heading to the Marriott Center, Provo, Utah. And I kind of like BYU, but this is a big number, 16.5. It was as high as 17.5 last night. But BYU, I mean, they've covered every game against Arizona State since they've joined the Big 12 conference. So if you're looking for kind of trends to bet on in terms of past head-to-head matchups, it would point towards BYU, a top 10 ranked team in the Cougars. And again, back to the offensive and defensive efficiency on both sides of the court, a top 20 nationally ranked team in both of those categories, a team I'm looking to bet on. They've scored 80 plus points in 5 straight games. You know, this isn't the NBA, it's college basketball. When teams are able to score that much, it's something I look towards. But again, it comes to the ultimate equalizer, big, laying a big number here. I trust BYU to score a bunch. I like their team total towards the over, but seeing this game total in the mid 160s. I would not be surprised if they get up and over, like into the 180s, guys. I could see a ton of scoring. This is an Arizona State team under Bobby Hurley, who, by the way, might be on his last gasp here as the head coach in Tempe. They've lost 3 straight by 25 ATS points. They've let up 90-plus points in 2 of their last 3 games, 4 straight overs for the Sun Devils. Again, I already talked about BYU and their scoring under Kevin Young. I think 165 here, 165.5 looks to be the consensus number. I think we get a bunch of points in Provo, guys. I like Arizona State, BYU, 9 o'clock Eastern tip, up and over the 165.5.
Boom.
That's a great breakdown. It's going to be tough for you, Drew, because your breakdown, I can't remember what the team you said. You're like, I think they're going to lose big, and I think they lost by like 30.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough to beat that
on that one.
It was an amazing breakdown. So it's going to be tough to. What's your hat? What is your hat?
Top Golf.
Yeah, a little Top Golf hat.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to say TGL. Because the TGL league just started.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was looking at, but I get it.
Andy, have you ever done Top Golf? I've never been,
Yes.
but I've always.
Never.
Yeah, is it worth the trip? Because dude, it's freaking expensive now.
It is.
Like it used to be like you could go with a couple buddies, you rent a bay, whatever, but it's freaking pricey now, man.
It's worth it to go once and say you've done it. But yes, it's been priced out of. It's been priced out of you can go multiple times. Like,
Drew, are you a big golfer?
I wouldn't say a big golfer. I'll get out there, with the boys and enjoy a little time. I usually last about 9 holes, and then I'm ready to go to.
You're a front 9 kind of guy. Okay, I respect that. I respect.
Yeah, call it. And you don't want to ask my handicap. I'm one of those guys where.
I wasn't going to out you here. I wasn't going to make you drop the handicap, brother. I got your back. Because the reason why I asked is because I'm not a big golfer. I've been once or twice. So if I'm going to Top Golf, I don't know if I'll be able to hang my own, but for the price you're dropping, I want to feel like I'm at least not embarrassing myself out there,
Yeah, and that's part of the reason I like Top Golf is because you don't have to stay out there all 18 holes, if you know what I mean. And I'll tell you this, Dan, if you can find a Top Golf, some of them offer like happy hour specials, like half off type deal. It's not at all of them. The one in Vegas, I don't remember having it, but at times the ones in the Sunshine State in Florida, they offer a little happy hour special if you get there early.
Alcohol combined with just hitting drivers. That sounds like a beautiful thing. What do you got rocking and rolling today, Drew? I know we got some great specials over at the site, some great discounts that we have rolling. What do you have up over at your page?
Yeah, I mean, that special that Ross was talking about, you get a year and you get the 25% what bonus coupons to use on the site. That's probably the best way to go. And I got a top play tonight in college basketball game we didn't break down, but a game I really like. And, on a 6-0 run, guys, it's been a nice run. And we were on last week on a nice run. So continuing that, it's 12-2 since Christmas Eve. So, hey, if you're looking for someone that's going to pepper the board, a bunch of plays a night, I'm probably not your handicapper. But if you like kind of 1 to maybe 4 plays in a day, hey, it's been a heck of a run since early September, hitting 60%. So up almost 100 units since the start of football season. Great run. Check it out. Drew Martin Experts page, WagerTalk.com with the specials that you just talked about, Dan. Love it.
Appreciate it, great Drew. Go to Top Golf. Go hit the drivers, man. You deserve it. As a hell of 2 great breakdowns. Now good luck on the front 9. I know you won't make it to the back 9, Drew. Good luck on the front 9. Thanks for coming on.
I don't think I'm getting out there, guys. We got a lot going on. College football, a couple games left, NFL playoffs. Great time to be a sports bettor in college basketball. Like Andy was saying, it takes a lot of time. So that's where I'm putting most of my time right now, guys.
Love it, man. Appreciate you, Drew.
Thanks, Drew. All right, we actually have a weird bunch of things to get to here, Dan, before we get to free plays. First off, the prop line, I'll be recording right after this. We're going to give out a 24-1 same game parlay, and it's a huge NBA slate. We are all NBA on the prop line, and then tomorrow we'll get into some college football and NFL, but it's a huge NBA slate. We're going to do deep dive on all those props. We're going to do a same game parlay. If you're going to go to Top Golf, I would go sooner rather than later because I'm not sure how much longer Top Golf is going to be around. It has been it's been one of the biggest rises and falls in business in quite some time.
It's like all the axe throwing places. Remember, axe throwing was just like, yo, let's go throw axes and drink beer. And then like 2 years later, people were like, this is stupid. Why are we?
Who would have thought axe throwing business didn't have legs? But no, it's true.
Legs underneath.
I weirdly did a deep dive because there's a Top Golf by where I live, and it was always busy. And I a few years ago we did a TV show there, and we could not shoot while they were open because they were so busy. And I drove by like a couple months ago, and they were dead. There was nobody there, so I looked it up, and yeah, they have absolutely cratered. So, okay. So Seth wants to say he's got a bunch of free plays. Okay, here's where I'm going with this.
Okay,
Seth, here's what I would do. If you're looking for the safe, just, I just want a small return on my investment. Umar Nurmagomedov is minus 1,600 against Davison Figueiredo. Umar Nurmagomedov is going to win outside of twisting his ankle walking into the cage, but then the fight wouldn't even start. Davison Figueiredo is way past his prime. He's had injuries. Umar is on a rocket ship. You could just lay all of those at minus 1,600 and get a 7 or 8% return on your money. Now, if I were to give that out to clients, Dan, what do you think customers...
It wouldn't be happy.
I will just be honest. I did something like that twice last week on minus 1,000 bets. And it was the easiest 10% return on my money. Now, you have to search these and figure out which ones are the best ones. But I'm just telling you, with my own money, I know that laying the juice on minus 1,000 has been a really, really good source of building the bankroll, but I can't give it out to clients because I've seen the emails, and you give out high juice plays. This is similar to the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather, the legendary one where all the sharps were like minus 900 on Floyd. Heck yeah, take my money. Yeah. So that's what I don't know. You got a bunch of free bets. Are you shooting for the moon? You throwing a Hail Marys, Bills 10-1?
So that's usually what I do. And like you said, if you have that many free bets, maybe you just chug along, 7%. So you maybe take some chalkier plays. The way that I always handle it, because I usually don't have 27 free plays sitting in my account. I put it on a future kind of guy. You get $50 because the way that I handle my bankroll, I don't bet many futures unless it's something that I really believe in, or it's something that I believe in and it has a bunch of zeros behind it. That's the way that I bet my bankroll. I'm a week-to-week kind of guy. I'm a situational kind of guy. That's the spots that I look to bet. I don't tie my money much in futures, but I love betting futures. So how do you manage that? Usually it's pizza money bet for me on futures. So if I have a $50 free play, yeah, that's where I take the Bills 10-1 to win the Super Bowl. That's where I look at a long shot college lacrosse team that I think could be around the Final Four weekend and take them at 33-1. That's where maybe I have a little bit more fun and do one of those crazy parlays you see where it's like Eagles to win the Super Bowl, the Kings to win the NHL Cup. That's the way that I personally attack it. But for the way that you and your team bet and being people who aren't as juice adverse to maybe a daily better, a weekly better, your approach makes a heck of a lot of sense. So it's a good problem to have when you have free money from the sports book. So however you want to do it, there's not really a wrong way to do it. But let's get some crazy plus money. I wake up in my account and see, how the hell do I have an extra $1,000 in my account? Oh yeah, I fired a free play on a $50 bet.
I'm being more and more aggressive on these plays, these big minus favorites when they pop up. Well, dude, I've only done it 4 or 5 times over the last 6 months, but they've all hit. So you got to be picky.
Well, and this is where casual bettors, and I, include myself in that ilk. Yes, I do it as a part of my yearly, expenses, and my yearly income is partially what we do with your team. And I've gotten a little bit less juice adverse, but the casual bettor in me is always like, dude, I don't want to, like, my usual cutoff before was like minus 180. I didn't want to lay over minus 180. And something that sharp bettors like Like guys like Fezzik, like Marco, like these guys who have been doing it forever, Yanni, they always say, I'll lay minus 900 if the play is supposed to be minus 600, and I'll bet a hell of a lot on that. So it's how much bankroll do you have? It's how much juice adversity do you have? But, the guys who are doing this year in and year out, grinding, they're not afraid of laying crazy prices if their numbers say it should be, 300, 250, even 150 points, cents, so to speak, one way or the other.
Yeah, but you're sounding like Kevin from Home Alone. I'm not afraid anymore.
Yeah.
Do you hear me? I'm not afraid anymore.
Yeah.
So, it's just being a bigger.
It's a great question, though. Comment below and let us know. You got free plays. What do? You throw some player prop parlays together. You do some micro markets. You look at a game where a team's down, 50 points, and you say, I'm going to take them against the spread. I'm going to take them to win outright, hope for a comeback. How do you handle? It's a great question by Seth, and enjoy your $27 $50 free plays. That's terrific, my friend.
Yes, Seth makes the best beef jerky on the planet. So that is that is Seth's business. I actually
send some our way, Seth. Send some our way.
I got some for Jim for his Christmas present. Jim and I give each other Christmas presents, and his Christmas present was
love that
beef jerky. So, all right, let's do some free plays here. Or do you have a WTF LFG? Were you able to?
Yeah, I do. We're gonna go back to the EPL because why not? In this midweek stuff, I bet some NBA, I bet some NHL here and there, but midweek I'm mainly focusing on soccer plays. It's what I did for another now defunct channel. Used to do a show over there, but 11-5 on these plays. Little shot, Andy. Who cares? 11-5 on these plays are WTF or LFG. Yesterday we cashed in, getting another win, a nice little bounce back. And I conferred with my friend Bryan Power, who also is a EPL fan.
Oh,
and we are seeing eye to eye in this Brentford versus Sunderland match. This one going today around 2:30. So I'll be brief so you can get to it. But Sunderland, they're sitting mid-table in the EPL. But how did they get there? It's because they just keep getting draws, Andy. This isn't a team that's getting decisions, losses, or wins. It's just been draws. 9 draws and only 7 wins on the season. 4 straight draws by way of 1-1 and 0-0 in 2 of them. And Harry right now. Well done. Good reference.
That was good. That was really good.
Frizz Allen holding things down. But if you look at the goals scored table for Sunderland, they're actually near the bottom. So the way that Brian and I looked at it, it's like they can't keep getting away with this. You know what I mean? They're hanging around 7, 8 in the table, and it's because they're just getting lucky. They're forcing draws. I don't think that's going to work against a Brentford team who's 6-3-1 at home. Sunderland just 2 wins on the road in 10 different tries. I don't think playing for a tie will get it done. If you're playing for a tie against a Brentford side, you're probably going to get a 1-0 loss. So I'm taking Brentford money line, shop around. We'll grade it at minus 120, but Brentford money line to play for me.
Okay, Brentford money line. It's really interesting that the draws plus 245 when they have a bunch of these draws. Very.
And if you want to get creative, I mean, maybe you bet the draw. I just feel like Brentford, they're coming off a 4-2 win against Everton, which was a big win for them. So I feel like there's some wind in the sails that hasn't quite been there with regularity for Brentford. So I don't think they'll be playing for a tie. I don't think they would be happy with a tie decision. I think they want to start getting on a little bit of a roll here. And Sunderland, they're just like, let's sit back. Let's play back a lot. So, hey, maybe we get a penalty or an own goal again, Andy. This has worked out well for us.
I'm going with WTF. Your play hit because of an own goal and a penalty kick yesterday, Dan.
By any means necessary, Andy. By any means necessary. I would go over 10 corner kicks simply because of the way that Sunderland plays. They're going to be kicking it to the side, obviously trying to force, trying to force the ball out. So yeah, you could definitely see 10 corners if they're just conceding, kicking it out of the end line there. So that would be a fine prop. It feels a little bit high, But
Okay.
if you want to throw it in there as a parlay piece, but I like it. You're right. When you're coming off a win with an own goal and a penalty kick, even though we called the penalty kick, Andy,
We did call it. Yeah.
I'll take the WTF. That's fine.
Yeah,
but I at
you
least
made
got a
the case.
LFG from David.
You made the case about the draws, and the draws are just they're the kiss of death when you pick money lines.
They are.
In soccer.
It's why I like betting soccer, but I hate it because there's no worse way when you have a handicap like this, and it's probably going to end in a draw. So
yes,
maybe
absolutely.
Take the draw at 245. I've changed the play. No, I'm just messing with you. Brentford minus 120.
Brentford money line. We will revisit tomorrow. All right, let's do all around the world. Let's give out some free plays, and we'll be out of here. Again, the prop line is going to go up probably within the next half hour, 45 minutes. We got a 24-1 parlay, and use the promo code Andy100. It gets 30 days worth of plays. We got a 4% NBA best bet, and the full props market watch write-ups are in the write-up just like yesterday. So if you got the $5 play yesterday and you saw the props market watch, those are going to be included in every write-up moving forward. All right, we're going to the Knicks and the Clippers. We're going to Miles McBride over 10.5 points. This guy is on an absolute roll. He's gone over in all 5 since returning from injury. He's playing 26 minutes. He's shooting 54% from the field. He's making 3.8 threes per game. This is a Knicks team that not much has gone right for them since the NBA Cup, but Miles McBride's been one of them, one of the bright spots. Good matchup as the Clippers are not very good defending the 3. And then we'll go to the Hawks and the Pelicans. A Congo over 7.5 rebounds. This is a fade of the Pelicans. Queen and Zion do not do very good rebounding. Centers get 15.6 rebounds per game against the Pelicans. DeAndre Ayton had 11 against them last night, and he's gone over in 6 out of 7. He's averaging 11 rebounds in those. This is going to be a client play. I haven't put in as an official client play. This has got to be a client play. You fade the Pelicans like with the opposing center. That's the way to do it. And then this is a free play from Carm. Senators and Mammoth over 6. Ottawa still has the goaltending issues. Olmark is away. Utah 6-3-1 to the over the last 10 home games and 4-1 to the over the last 5. So we're looking at the Senators and Mammoth go over 6. All right, Dan. Good show as always. We're going to be back for Thursday. We got a lot to get to tomorrow. I'm assuming it's, we got a lot of football to start talking about. And then of course we got football Friday on Friday to get going. So really excited. Let's root on this Brentford on the money line. So thank you very much, Dan.
Money line. And we got all these. I'm definitely tailing that Okongwu play.
He's been on fire. He's been on fire for the Hawks.
And Andy, I will be here for a full show tomorrow. No bet on it recording. I will be here at noon alongside you, but glad I got to join you. Folks, on the way out, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and comment below whether you're follow or fading. As VR would say, we hope you cash them. Do not trash them. And we will see you tomorrow, Thursday. Joe Ranieri joining us. No Gianni the Greek. He will be in Philadelphia for a wedding. So Andy and I will do our best to get you some steam reports. So for Andy, I'm Dan Alexander, and we will see you guys tomorrow right back here, noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific. WagerTalk Today. Best